So I wanted to share with you guys, I get a lot of messages. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with, and I hear a lot of really nice, cool stories. Sometimes people will come to me afterwards and send me photos of their past loved one or photos of an object or a picture that I described or something like this, and that's always such a blessing and it's always such a joy. But sometimes the messages and the notifications can be a little inundating. It might take me a while to get there. But I'll tell you guys what. I don't know if you know this, but sometimes this girl gets hate mail. I know, I don't understand it either, right? Like, what in the world, right? So you've seen people hop in here and talk about tarot's evil. That's the devil's work, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking like, whoa, who's speaking like that in this house right now? You know what I mean? Who's speaking like that in this house? So anyway, I had somebody send me some hate mail last night, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's kind of funny. Because I will tell you what, I'm a real person just like you guys, just like anybody else. I'm a real person, and I never put it out there that I'm holy and pious and better than anybody else, because that is not the case, and I do not want anybody to think, oh man, she's a real person, so everything she said is crap. You know, like, no, I am a real person, and spirit still works through me, and spirit can work through you, and we're all just doing our best here. This was the message, and it made me laugh, you guys. It made me laugh. Stop tricking stupid people and get a real hobby, you silly little con artist. And I was like, wow, you know, block, ban, delete, of course, but it just made me laugh. Stop tricking stupid people and get a real hobby, you silly little con artist. And honestly, guys, it made me sad. It made me sad, and I swear to you, I stopped and I prayed for that person, because I know people in my life, in my family, who cannot believe, who just cannot believe that we live on, who can't believe that spirit speaks, who can't believe that God lives in all of us and works with people in such a way like this, that those are true messages. I have a relative who's a non-believer. And I allow her that. Like, hey, girl, if you can't understand it and you don't believe in it, no worries. I don't push my beliefs on you. It is each person's individual destiny to find God in their own way. And obviously, my way is not their way. My way is not that person's way who sent me the message about me being a con artist, right? It makes me sad for that individual, because I recognize that some people just have that life experience that prevents them from believing that God shows up like this. And that leads me to the, where was God when these things were happening in my life? Where was God when this was happening to me? And I felt that from that message. And I swear to you guys, I'm not holy, pious, pure. I'm not none of those things. But in my heart of hearts, I felt bad for this individual, because whatever he's been through, it's not about me. It's about him and God. That's really what it is. And so I stopped and I prayed and I lifted him up and I said, God, please work in that person's life in a real tangible way. Help them to see you. Help them to know you. Help them to feel you. Move in any way that will make sense to that person so that they can understand the awesome power of God. And I prayed and I held that space. And I hope that individual and people like that are uplifted in whatever way works for them, man. Some religions work for those people, and good for that. Thank God something's working. Other religions, or no religion at all. I'm not a religious person. I believe in God. God. Above all else, there is God. God is the creator of this universe, the creator of this dimension, the creator of all things, and God is love. Love lives within us all, and we can tap into it in a majorly huge way, or we can cringe away from it, right? We can build barriers and walls, especially if we've been hurt. And that's what I see that as. When someone wants to say I'm a fake, I'm a con artist. You might have seen somebody drop something about tarot being evil. That makes me sad. If evil people use tarot, then sure, that's an evil session there. It's all about the intentions in your heart. And I am aligned with love and light and God, and I come with loving intentions only. And I'm a real person just like anyone else. I'll tell you this. This is what I was getting at. I have a family member she doesn't believe in this kind of stuff. But hey, we all have our own free will, okay? And I don't push it on her because I'm not the messenger, okay? And my family member actually legitimately in her mind believes that psychics aren't real. And what they do is they go to your Facebook page beforehand and they gather important tidbits of information, and they write it and they commit it to memory for a certain handful of individuals who they know are going to come. Okay. And then on the broadcast, they only read the memorized information for the people with whom they've already planned and researched. And I said, damn, that would be so intensive and time consuming if that was how it really worked. This would be like, I would never sleep. I would never sleep if that was the way it worked. Is it so scary to believe that you can just trust God to come through with real true stuff? Yes, for that individual, yes, because God doesn't exist to them. And hey, each person's journey is their own. And I must say this too. You're reading your message. It's coming from Spirit to you. I don't hold that in my memories. You know, obviously there are certain things that ping me that kind of sit with me a little longer, but I don't remember a lot of the readings that I give out because I'm sitting in the energy of Spirit and I'm sitting in an elevated level of consciousness. So my real mind is not taking notes. And I am not the one to go research beforehand and commit stuff to memory and then recite it. Like, this is real, and it saddens me that some people can't believe that God is possible and that God can work in lives. I'm not God. I'm not. I'm a real person, but God works with real people. Real people, flawed people. I got family members who it's not me. I'm not their messenger, or this is not their gig. They are not into the spiritual stuff. But if you're into the spiritual stuff and you can hear that message from me, thank God for that. I'm glad to be of service for you guys. But I have family members. Then I'm not their cup of tea, right? Maybe I'm not their messenger. Want to know why? Because they know me my whole life or their whole lives. They've seen me fuck up. They've seen me make mistakes and be a real person. And then they seen me claim to be a psychic one day. Just one day. I told you this happened to me in church. I heard past loved ones talking to me in church, asking me to deliver messages, and I did. It scared the daylights out of me, man. And I learned how to use it, and I haven't stopped since, and I can't. It changed me. It changed my life. And some of those people in my family still cannot hear the message because what do they see in front of them? The same old me that I've always been. But I'm not. I'm different, man. This changed me. This knowledge and this awareness and sitting in the energy of God so incredibly regularly changes people. And it's an amazing blessing to be of service here. So when someone sends me the thing saying you're a silly little con artist, oh my gosh, that made me laugh. Like, that makes me sad for that person. You can't believe that much. Like, you have a grudge against God. God left you out in the cold at some point in your life. God was always there. Sometimes we just don't know it because we're so overcome by our circumstances, or maybe we're a helpless victim. I'm speaking of people right here and now. I've been a helpless victim. Where was God? God was watching you with admiration as you sustained whatever it was you were enduring in that moment and applauding your strength and bravery for standing up and moving forward and still living and breathing another day. That's where God was. God is. God watches you. God lives inside of you and cries inside of you and experiences all of this with you. I am not a con artist. Tap into your own God and you will see the truth. So what I want to say is this, like, sometimes I'm not the messenger. That's okay, man. I just hope and pray that people find it in whatever way is comfortable for them. That's why I say the word God. God rubs people the wrong way sometimes. Some people eke at the word God. I used to. You know why? Because the church taught me that God was mean. The church taught me that God was keeping track. And I knew I'd made mistakes. God is not keeping track. Maybe the church keeps track. I'll just say that. The church was created by man. Man interpreted their rules and said, listen, here's society who lives right here in my town and under my control. We're going to be this religion. And we got to follow these commandments. They don't come from me. They come from God. Ooh. They come from God, so we had all better stay in line and act right. That doesn't sound like a justice system there. Follow God's rules. Now, I'm not saying they're bad rules. They're old rules. Some of them are extremely strict. You have to stand up, you have to kneel, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'll tell you what, I meditate all the time. Sometimes I lay down, sometimes I sit up, sometimes I've even sat in the lotus position, believe it or not. Painful. I couldn't get up. My legs fell asleep. Oh my God, don't do it. You don't have to. You don't have to. I meditate while I'm doing the dishes. I meditate in the shower. I meditate when I'm out walking outside with nature. There's so many ways to connect with God, you guys. And there are no rules around it except for the rules that you believe in. God believes in you with no limits. You think God has limits? God has no limits. You're the one who has limits. You're the one who has limits, but you don't. They're only your belief of that. Release that stuff. I just really wanted to say that I'm a human person, man. And I live a life just like all of you guys. But I am here of service and I'm connected to God. And God walks with me, but sometimes I make mistakes. Why? Because it's in my life path journey, because there's skills I still need to learn. Resourcefulness, strength and bravery and courage. These are the things that I learned from my challenges. Thank you, God, for making me who I am today. Thank you, God, for walking with me through all of these things, carrying me at times. I didn't die. God must have been there with me. I have died and came back. I've been some places. I'm a real human person. If you guys knew the places I've been, some of you probably wouldn't even watch me. You'd say, what could she say? God changed my life. God changed me. God transformed me. Walking with God on a regular basis transforms me on a regular basis. It's always a choice. When someone pisses me off or I see someone I don't necessarily care for, you better believe I have human emotions and reactions, but I got to stop and wait and think, what kind of a life do I live? What kind of a person am I? What kind of messages do I preach? That is who I am. And yeah, I still get mad. And yeah, I still fucking cuss sometimes. And yeah, I still drink Rockstars. I still vape and I still do whatever it is that I do to keep me who I need to be to show up and be of service for you guys, because it fucking works. I am grateful to be able to speak to those who are willing to listen, and they can receive the messages from beyond, from their loved ones, from their spirit team, from their angels, from God, through me. As a real human person, it's an honor. It truly is, man. It really is. And I thank you guys. Sometimes the people who believe in you are the people that you least expect, you know? And sometimes, like, I still have to keep going back to, like, God moves. If you have a situation, I don't know who I'm talking to here, you guys. I'm speaking to somebody. I feel your hearts. If you have a situation that feels out of your hands, maybe it is. And maybe it's best to draw God's attention in a quiet moment and put it in God's hands. And ask God to work some magic for you or for your loved ones. And that is one thing, like my family, they've seen where I've been, man. They know where I've been. How could you be, this? I don't know, but I am. Thank God. Thank God. And we can all choose to be who we want to be in any moment. We can choose to be a better person, or we can choose not to. I just could not believe that. I'm a silly little con artist. I'm like, no, I'm not, man. You don't understand how freaking real I am, because I never want to let anyone down. I never want you guys to say, oh no, everything she said was crap because now she went to jail. I don't plan to go to jail, but I have been to jail since I've been a spiritual practitioner. I almost quit. It was a worthiness lesson, I'll tell you what. I found myself in jail. Yes, I did. I got beat the crap out of and took to jail for being drunk in public, which is why I don't drink, okay? But I was drowning my sorrows like a normal human person does sometimes. Not that it's healthy. I don't drink because it turns me into someone that I'm not. So I went to jail, you guys, and oh man, it was bad, and I was so ashamed. Like, these are things that I swore I'd never tell the public, but like, here it is, because God's like, the public's been to jail. And if they don't want to hear your message because you're a real person, then why are they on your broadcast? It's okay. If I'm not the messenger, if you want to go stick with somebody who has it all together and is all love, light, and positivity and is going to give you the brighter side of every darn thing at all and never make a mistake in their life, and if they do, they hide it so that nobody knows. If you want that, go find that. Go find that fake friend. Go find that fake superficial reader that you want. I'm the reader that'll tell you if your old man's cheating on you. You know why? Because it fucking hurts and it matters. And I've had an old man cheat on me. I would never wish that on any of you guys. I got chills right now. I'm the one who will tell you whatever it is that's coming through for you, because I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the other side. I'm not scared of you. And I'm not scared of the messages that might come through that'll ping something in me, because I understand. I've been a lot of places, friends. That's why I can reach you on the level where you're at. That's what I have to say. And you've been a lot of places. Who are you reaching? Spirit wants you to know that. You've been a lot of places. You got stories in your backpack. You have these notes in your history that were huge, pivotal moments for you, and you made it through that. One day you might be called upon to help another through a similar thing. That's God's work, man. That is God's work through human hands. Thank God that you have made it through all the things that you have been through, that you can be the person that you are here now and today. Thank God for you. I want to say thank you to everyone who supports me. And you don't know that about me, that I get hate mail sometimes. People tell me I'm evil and this and that. And I'm like, poor you, man. Poor you. And I'm not always holy. I'm not always I'm going to pray and lift you to the light. But I felt moved to do that for this individual because I see that it is a lack of connection or belief in God. That's what it is. And it makes me sad because everybody deserves to know God in their own intimate way. It's a beautiful thing. You know, sometimes people send me positive things too, and I love that. I love to hear from you guys. I can't do this without you. I can't. You and I work together to get your messages through. It's a co-creative process. We're engaging here, and your past loved ones are connected to not just me, but you. And that's why it works. Not because I researched beforehand, not because I knew who was going to be on the broadcast. And those of you who have been read at random the first time you've ever been on my broadcast, you know this to be true. That's why you still stick around. You see other people's readings and you know this to be true. Even if you don't get one yourself, God always has a message for you. And today that message is, you are a beautiful, strong soul, living this human experience in the best damn way you can. And your spirit team and God is proud of you. Spread your light. Pat yourself on the back for how good you've been doing, how well you've been handling things. Build yourself up. It starts with you building yourself up. If you're not built up yourself, it's so easy for others to tear you down. Don't wait on others to build you up. They will follow your lead. That's why you've heard me say, and I'm Spirit Speak Psychic Medium Heidi, the coolest psychic medium you will ever meet. Why? Because I believe this to be true? No, okay, there's a lot of really cool psychic mediums. But because you're taking your lead from me, that's the vibe and the tone that I set. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. This is going to be cool, right? Let's raise our vibe. People take their cues from you. If you act invisible, they will overlook you. If you act like a doormat, they will step right over you. If you don't have an opinion, you'll never have an opinion. It's time to shine your authentic self to the people who are in your environment, virtual or 3D physical world. Everything you touch leaves your own energetic signature fingerprint. Everything. So what are you tinging everything with? Is it with love and joy, positivity, or is it with sparks of anger, of grudges, of resentment, of grief, of sadness, of pity, of apathy? What are these things? Are you spreading love? Individually, yeah, that sounds tedious. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's easier to walk through your town, smile and wave at everybody when things are good. Make sure you do that. You are influencing and enhancing the uplifting vibration of the environment and everyone you come into contact with. Good job for you. But sometimes it's a choice. Hey, good morning. Good to see ya. It doesn't really feel like your heart's in it, right? But you're trying instead of yeah, what's so good about the morning? Nothing. Fill me with the love of God. What would the love of God do in this situation right now? Call someone a bitch and flip them off? Probably not. You know what I mean? What would the love of God do right now? If you can take that brief moment of pause before you react, just think about this. You know in your heart of hearts what the right thing is. Sometimes the right thing is not exactly the one you want to do, but you know what the right thing is. Treat people kindly. Treat people fairly. That sends a ripple effect through their lives. You're kind to them, then they're kind to other people. You're a bitch to them, and they're grouchy the rest of the day, being mean to everyone else they come into contact with. Spirit is really saying to be mindful of what you're spreading and giving to people, to the world, to pets, to nature. Now, I know I'm a real spiritual individual, and I have a lot of fantastic experiences, like with extraterrestrials and all kinds of other things, and maybe you guys have too. Things are pretty intense for me, but I'm okay with it. That's why I'm so open. That's why the readings are what they are, because I'm open to the spirit world. It doesn't scare me. Let's do this, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about all this stuff. I'm excited to be co-creating with spirit and God and the angels and all this. As much as you might love your job or your money or your children, your grandchildren, your husband, your parents, Love God, and all things will come unto you. There is no greater love than the love of God. And when you can connect on your own, friends, when you connect on your own, when you take that quiet time, we pray. You don't have to only pray when things are wrong. Spending time with God, even when things are okay, is about spending time in the energy of God. Ask God to show up. Hey, God, I'm here. Will you sit with me? Will you just spend time with me? I want to know you. I want to know you in a deep, intimate way, like Spirit Speaks Psychic Medium Heidi. Wow. I want to know you like that, God. Sit quiet for a while. Invite God to come in with you. If God's too scary of a term, Spirit, higher self, higher power, angels. If you are a non-believer of any old thing at all, love. Sit in the energy of love. Ask to be filled with the energy of love, and you will know God. I thank you guys for listening to me. My booking link is pinned here somewhere. I have all kinds of stuff for you. So if you're interested in just sitting with a regular old real person like me, Spirit always shows up, and I would love to have you. Many blessings, friends.